Thank you.
Great, I'm seeing your responses. Keep them coming. If you're just joining us, the instruction is just tell us your name in the chat box, your name, the city you're joining in from, and what the time is currently where you are. So please just leave that in the chat box while we make room for others to join us here shortly. So in another 2 minutes, we would kick off fully. All right, so just leave your names. I think I'll start reading it. Okay, so a little bit of housekeeping. Kindly keep your microphone muted. Please keep your mic muted throughout the session. If you need to raise your hand, you raise your hand. But please keep. Okay, so I'll start calling some names I'm seeing here while we wait for others to join us shortly. So I have Fanuel Lemon Harams from Gombe State. We have Joaquin Mustafa Rukoya from Akure. We have Fumi from Lagos. We have Wisdom Ajagba from Lagos. We have Babakaka Babagana from Meduguri, Borno State. We have Sani Suleiman Hama Adama from Kefi. I think Kefi is Nasarawa, right? I hope I'm correct. We have Sams Jimo from Abuja. We have Ridwan from Lagos. We have Sandra from Benin City. We have Henry Kudo from Port Harcourt. Okay, please mute your mic. You're distracting us. Okay. Henry Udo from Port Harcourt. Hanifa Hamad from Abuja. Idris Abdul Mujib from Kaduna. We have Michael from Akure. We have Chilaka Amachuku from Lagos State. We have Ledum Barato from Port Harcourt. We have Said from Ogun State. We have Hope from Lagos. We have Pelumi from Oshun. We have Chukwa Goziem from Anambra. We have Mohammed Ghani from Lagos. We have Peter Zachariah from Jos. Ivy Batur from Gombe. We have Olubukola Aribo from Akure. We have Abubakar Umar Yusuf from Abuja. We have Benita Amen from Aba. We have Bobo J from Akure. We have Crawford Naomi Ibrahim from Gombe State. We have Yusuf Sabi from Abuja. We have Anastasia from Lagos. Atai Edidiana Abasi from Akwa Ibom. And then we have Charles from Enugu. Beautiful, beautiful people, amazing people. Seems like we're touching every state in Nigeria. That's a beautiful one. So please, if you're just joining, very quickly, just leave your name, your location in the comment section. Your name, the city you're joining us from, and what the time currently is there. Okay. As soon as we get to 50 participants on this call, I would kick off. we'll kick off fully. So let's just give room for others who are yet to send in their names to do that shortly. Okay, we're almost 50. Almost 50. Okay, we have Abubakar Abdul Karim from Lagos. You're all welcome. You're all welcome to this session this evening. We also have Joseph Olaoluwa from Futa, Akure. Beautiful. Okay. Just a few more persons to join and then we'll kick off fully. Just need a few more attendees on the call. And then we go right into it. While we wait for our number to get to at least 50, some ground rules. If this is your first time joining a Datite session, you are especially welcome. So this webinar is hosted by Datite Academy, an academy designed to help amateurs become data professional. So wherever you are in your career journey, wherever you are, whatever stage it is, whatever level of figuring out it is, Datite Academy is for you. And we are the Datite Academy is the host of tonight's session. This session is in two parts, of which today is the part one. The part two comes up next week, so please just take note. Today's session is designed to give you practical insights that you can actually apply. So usually when people come for webinars like this, they're always just expecting theory and lots of stories. But we want to give you insights you can apply, not just information that sounds good in theory. So I encourage you to stay engaged as much as you can. Try to take away distractions. It's a free webinar, doesn't mean you don't place value on it. All right, so as much as you can, eliminate all forms of distraction. Keep your microphone muted until otherwise stated. Please, let's maintain a level of decorum throughout the session. And please make use of the opportunity to ask questions when the time comes. So you don't disrupt the speaker while the session is going on. You hold on till you get the go ahead. You may be asked to raise your hand if you have questions. Whatever the instruction is, please make use of the opportunity to ask questions when the time comes. And okay, just a few rules. Keep your microphone muted, keep your questions coming. In case you don't forget your questions, you can write them down somewhere. Then in the course of the session, maybe there's something you want to point out to the speaker so you don't interrupt the session and disrupt the speaker's flow of thought. Please keep your questions, and at the end of the session, there will be ample time for question and answer. Please stay engaged. If you're asked to type in the chat box, if you're asked to use a certain emoji, be engaged as much as you can. If something is interesting, use a thumbs up, use your love emoji, you use your clapping emoji. Let's stay engaged as much as possible. Participate in the chat. If there's a point that particularly stands out for you, you can type it in the chat. All right. If you experience any technical issues, you can just go to the group, the WhatsApp group, just state what your issue is, and there'll be somebody there to attend to you. So if you have any difficulty hearing or seeing the presentation as well, please reach out to any one of us. If it's in the course of the session that you stop hearing anything, you can just raise your hand. I will promise to keep to time, so please stay with us till the end. We don't want people going off before the end of the call. We'll try to keep things in check. And there will be very valuable instructions to be shared when we wrap up. So please stay with us till the end. With that said, I think we're ready to get started. I hope you all have a great session, and I'm sure you're going to get a lot of value for it. The time you're going to spend with us on the session today, you are sure going to get a lot of value. So right now, I'm going to be inviting our speaker for this evening to delve right into why we are here. Please remember what our agreement is. While we introduce the speaker, use your emojis, use your, you can type something in the chat box. Please stay engaged as much as possible. So right now, let's welcome Mr. Prince Obuna, our instructor for tonight's session. Yes, I'm seeing your applauses. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, beautiful. Thank you. I hope you keep this energy up. So yes, sir, you have the floor right now.
Okay, good evening. Please confirm that you can hear me and you can see me as well.
Yes, sir, we can hear and see you.
All right. Thank you so much. Okay, welcome everybody to tonight's session. So my name is Prince Obuna, and I am the founder of Data It Academy. So I'm also here with a couple of my team members who are going to be contributing in one way or the other in the course of this webinar. So with me here today, I also have Emmanuel Ezirioha. He is our business intelligence manager at Data It Academy. So he's here as well. All right, so the person that anchored this to this point is our programs manager at Data It Academy. All right, I want to officially welcome every one of you. So tonight, we're going to make it interactive and we'll give you value for your time that you're going to be spending with us today. Okay, just give a second. Let me share my screen. When you can see my screen, please let me know. Guys, can you see my screen? Please confirm.
Yes, please.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Thank you, Yusuf. All right. Thank you, guys. I love the interactivity of this session. Okay, so tonight we're going to talk about, because I know, and I know that many of you who are here today want to build a career or develop a career in data analytics, and you you want to have a clear path to achieving your goal in data analytics. So this night we're going to talk about how we can go from certificates to competence, right, in data analytics. And we're going to demystify the missing link between learning and being job ready. Many of us here today, many of us are dreaming to get a job in data analytics, in tech, and make a lot of money, right? But it's not as simple as you see it out there. So tonight we're going to just talk about it, have some serious conversation, and then give you some guidelines that will be very, very helpful for you going forward. All right, so I already introduced my colleague here, Emmanuel Israel. He is also a data analyst uh, with an industry practitioner who is so well versed and experienced in the industry, right? So I'll be talking a little bit about myself, right? You get to know me, my background, what I've done before now, and who I am, right? So first of all, I am the founder and the CEO at Data It Academy, right? So, and I'm a senior data analyst as well at Omnibiz Africa. Many of you who are here maybe you're based in Lagos, you must have heard about Omnibis, right? So I also consult with Omnibis Africa. Also, I'm a co-founder of Greenera Technologies, a renewable energy company that's in charge of energy distribution, mainly in the eastern part of Nigeria. I've also worked as an ETL developer for my Digi Collect in Ireland, where I was the ETL developer consolidating the data globally across all the shipping lines across the globe. So I have background in electrical engineering, and I'm a member of Data Science Nigeria. Many of you must have heard about Data Science Nigeria. I'm also a member of International Society for Data Science and Analytics. So all my career has been based on data analytics, and everything I do is just about data. And I've had opportunity to work with a lot of great minds and great people who share a lot of experiences as well. And I've had the opportunity of hiring people as well, right? So many of you, um, in the future, maybe in 6 months from now, you might come on in an interview and you might see me. Right. So I have experience hiring data analysts and data scientists in the industry as well. So tonight, uh, let me just give a short description of why you may be here, right? So what we're going to do is, first of all, before you get something right, you must identify how it is done wrong, right? So this night we're going to identify the wrong steps that people who want to learn data analytics take at first before they get it right. Many of us, when I started data analytics over 10 years ago, it was not straightforward, right? And I made some mistakes, and I've guided people and mentored people who made the same mistake as well. But because I guided them, they were able to get it right. So we're going to now identify those issues. One, you may have a certificate, but not confidence. Many of you here are professionals who must have taken data analytics programs elsewhere, but inside you, you're not sure if this certificate you have is enough, if this skill you have is enough to be bold enough to get into the industry and apply it, right? So, and some of you may be here because you have learned pieces, but they do not connect. You've learned some things here and there. Maybe you went to Udemy, you went to Coursera, you went to all this. You've learned few things, right? But it's not in one place. It's not connected, and you can't place it well, right? So some of you might be like that. You have projects, but you cannot explain every decision. Some of you might be here. You may maybe you might have done some projects in data analytics. You might even have personal portfolio website where you hosted them, and but you can't explain every piece of it, right? You can't defend it. So this night we're going to talk about how to get it right for you. Some of you may be here because you know about AI, but sometimes you depend on it without um, thinking properly about how you are leveraging it, right? Every one of us here, I'm sure that 99% of us here have heard about AI and how AI is doing wonders in the industry. So if you're here and you are thinking, how can I use AI to make the most out of my learning journey or out of the career I want to develop? So this night is for you. We're going to talk about it as well. So you want a data career, but need a clear path. So some of you might be here today because you want to define a clear path to learn data analytics. So this our webinar was developed for you to guide you properly. So you have started before but struggled to finish. Many of you, like I said before, maybe you've started some programs, but you couldn't finish it, right? Especially when they're online programs, you enroll and you have issues and there's nobody to motivate you, nobody to follow up. You're not talking to your peers who are also doing the same thing with you. you don't have a community where you get help and assistance, right? So you stopped. So tonight we're also going to talk about it. All right. So this is a quick self-assessment poll that you're not required to respond immediately, right? It's just for you to just think about where you're standing at the moment, right? So a question like, can I independently complete a small data project? Some of you might independently. That is a fact. Some of you already know about Excel, Power BI, SQL, Python, Tableau, right? Some of you can independently do that, right? But if you don't, if you don't know how to yet, it is perfectly okay. It now tells you that you would have to start from somewhere and get to where you want to be. All right, then the next one is, can I explain every decision in my portfolio project? Like I said earlier, some of you must have finished, or maybe must have done some projects, and even maybe have it on your LinkedIn profile, on your CV, and every other digital asset that you use to represent yourself online. But then, can you confidently, right, explain every decision in it? Because in interview, somebody might ask you, why did you do this? And that is where we understand whether you can confidently defend it, right? Then the next one is, can I defend the claims on my CV? And that is another important thing, right? If you once you craft your CV, and I know, and I'm sure 99% of us here know what is CV, and they have a CV, right? So you you might have some things inside your CV, and somebody might ask you, if you say you have a Python skill, somebody might ask you, what is pandas in Python? What is it used for? Why do you need it? Right? So those are questions that could come, and you're required to defend what you know. Right? So can I explain the business value of my analysis? Another one is, this is a question that boils down to, the fact is, many learning systems and learning programs, they teach abstracts and syntax, right? They teach you all the SQL syntax, semantics, they teach you Python syntax and all that, right? Without connecting it to business use cases, right? And sometimes it gives us this illusion that being a data analyst is all just about using the tool, which is Python or Power BI, right? So can we explain the business value of my analysis, right? So it's an important question that you can ask. Can I use AI without depending on it for every step? AI is very powerful. I use AI for sure on daily basis, right? But then, can you independently use AI in such a way that it is not the basis of what you're building or the analysis you're making, right? So you use AI to just amplify your work and not to start off your work. So we're going to show you an example of how to use AI properly, even in your learning journey, right? So if you answered not yet, it is not a failure like it is on my screen. It simply shows the exact area your learning process must now strengthen, right? The area you can now pay attention to get it right. Okay, I'm going to the next slide. All right, so as I said earlier, we're going to show how, I think somebody is not muted. Okay, thank you. We're going to show how uh the current learning systems are disconnected, right? So that you understand and know exactly how to get it right. Okay. So this is a realistic story. Some of us who started learning data analytics way back then, right? We started this way. We get in the course, we buy the course, we finish it, we get the certificate, the second box here. At the end of the day, we may go out there, ask somebody to write our CV and put the certificates and the skill in our CV. Also, our portfolio, we outsource it as well because we don't know how to do it after finishing the program. And then the project, we copy it because we cannot defend it. And then at the end of the day, we use AI without understanding how to use it properly, right? And then at the end of the day, when we get to an interview, okay, you've done all this, presenting in your CV, done your portfolio, done projects, used AI, and then when you get to interview, you lose the confidence. So this is the reality of what is existing at the moment, right? So, and there should be a way to get it right after getting it wrong using this method. Okay, so this is just a sample distant Todo's step of learning that I just crafted. So Todo did many things that people are advised to do. The issue is that the pieces were not connected into one competence building process, right? The problem may not be effort, it may be disconnected process. Like, for instance, if Tolu is learning, normally Tolu should understand how to craft his CV and build his portfolio personal website and do project properly, and then learn also how to use AI in the same program, right? And then also prepare on how to defend his skills in interviews, right? So this is a sample case a sample real life story, right? So, and we're going to see how we can get it. Okay, somebody say he's having network issues. Please, can somebody else confirm whether I am audible? Can,
We can
You
hear
are
you, sir.
okay,
Can hear
thank
you,
you.
sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Somebody, I think it's Emmanuel that mentioned that he's having network issue. Hi, Emma. I hope you figure out the network something. Or maybe you can put your phone on flight mode and then put it back again and then come back to the call. Okay. All right. Thank you, guys. I'm going back to my presentation. All right. So let's continue. Okay. So let's see this now, this scenario. When the interview goes beyond certificates and CVs, this is where, because remember the goal is that we're trying to understand where the issue is in every learning process for people that want to learn data analytics, right? So in an interview, across my career, I've had the opportunity to interview people, right? I've hired people and I've spoken with entry-level data analysts that want to start up their career. So, and these are the things I see people struggle with. Number one is when you do your dashboard, your presentation, your analysis, and then I come to interview, and then I ask you, why did you use this visual? If you're not grounded and you don't understand exactly why you use that visual, there's nothing will make you get it right, right? So if you don't understand why you use a particular visual, you won't get it right. So this is a problem. So I'm giving you a tip, right? Some of you tomorrow might have an interview, right? And this could be key points for you to prepare with, right? Then the next one is, how did you clean the data set? Somebody might ask you this question and it throws you off balance because you didn't even know how you cleaned it. Maybe use AI to do it, and at the end of the day, you can't explain how exactly you clean that data set. So this is a serious issue in learning data analysis, and we will also demystify this. Then, what business problem did it solve? So some of us think that every chart is important. Every chart in your analysis, every report is important. Not every report is important. Okay. Every single line of code or query in the SQL that you're writing must be targeted at solving a business problem. So that takes me to a little bit on when you are learning SQL, when you are learning Python, when you are learning Excel, right? If the learning program is not connected to a business use case, it's a problem. Because at the end of the day, you'll be speaking in the language of syntax and semantics. You will not be speaking in the language of problem solving, business problem solving, right? So this is another issue that people also encounter as they build their career in data analytics. Now, the next one is, what would you change if the data were incomplete? So if you're not grounded in data cleaning, data handling, you may not be able to answer this question. Honestly, me personally, I have used it many times in interviews to shake up people's understanding of data analytics, right? So I will just ask you, okay, yes, you've done the analysis, fantastic, I love it, and I see your dashboard, it's very good, but what would you have done if this data was incomplete? So it's a critical question as well. So that is where being job ready goes beyond your CV and certificate, right? So let's continue. The real test is not whether the project exists, it is whether you understand it, right? Whether the core understanding of those projects is the key, right? Okay, so the next, let's look at this. Your certificate is not your competence. Your certificate is a show that you completed a program. It's important. Anybody can give you a certificate, right? It's important, but the key thing is the competence, right? So a certificate can introduce a conversation, but competence must sustain it. If you have, for instance, I have interfaced with people with AWS certification, even Azure certification. Some of you here might know what I'm talking about, AWS, Azure, all those big certifications that people pay hundreds of dollars to get. So I've interacted with many people with those, but at the end of the day, you find out that they're not well grounded, right? So the 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 steps to competence, right? I just analyze it here. I just arrange it in form of steps. First is exposure, right? I watched the lesson. That's the exposure. Yes, you completed the program and you did well, right? Then the second step is completion. That is, I finished the course. Fantastic, you did well. We'll give you a certificate, and we're good. Then practice. I completed tasks. This is where it begins to get very serious. Did you complete task, right? Did you do hands-on? Did you use business case study that is relevant to Nigerian market? I know that all of us, 99% of us here are Nigerians, right? So the next one is competence. I can apply and explain. That is where competence comes in. If you can apply that in your learn and you can explain it, that is where competence comes in. Okay. Then readiness. I can solve and communicate. It is good to have the skill, right? But can you communicate it? It's important. And that communication comes through your CV and your personal portfolio website, right? So I'm going to show you a sample. If you maybe many of us may not have known what is personal portfolio website, a website that is dedicated to you, or that where you outline your projects, right? So I'm going to show you a sample, so don't worry. I'll show you mine and then show you my colleagues own as well. All right. So I'm going to the next. All right. So completion is a milestone, but competence is a capability. Capability is your ability to achieve, to complete something, right? So this. Let's look at these two comparisons. Looks ready is this course completion. You finish the program and you're ready. Two, exposure. I've seen it before. Many of us know about SQL, know about Python, know about Tableau, Power BI, Excel, right? Many of us know these tools, right? So then certificate possession. I have the proof of attendance that I finished a program in data analytics. This is what looking ready looks like. Now, let's look at what actually ready is. If you are actually ready, you are going to possess um, this looks ready, right? Okay, you finished the program. Yes, two, exposure, you understand the two. Certificate, you have the certificate, right? So anybody who is actually ready must have this looks ready outlined here, right? Now, this is actually ready to get a job or get hired if you get into an interview. So independent execution is that you're actually ready. I can do it. I understand the business thinking. I know what you're looking for. I know why this problem exists in your business. I know why data is important in solving this problem. And I have the skill and the experience to achieve it for you. Right? So the next one is business understanding. I know why it matters. That is why I think I mentioned something like if you're in the program should be tied. Somebody is not muted. Okay. So I mentioned something earlier where I said if you are learning from a program, the program must be tied to a relatable business problem. If somebody is teaching you something with something you understand, it's easier to get that in. You get it's easier to get it, to get the concept and not pay too much attention into the coding, right? So, and then the next one that you're actually ready is insight communication. Can you communicate it? Can you explain it? Okay, you've done the analysis. At the moment, in my current role, I do a lot of business data communication, insight communication on daily basis. So after doing the analysis, can we actually can you actually come before us, stand, show us your analysis, talk about it, explain your reasoning, why you took certain steps to do the analysis and why you arrived at a particular conclusion. Can you give us your reasoning behind it? So that's why data analysts in the industry, many of you must have known that data analysts are basically the people that guide companies. When I say guide, is you know what it means for somebody to guide you. Maybe for somebody to hold your hand and people are walking and you depend on that person who is walking ahead of you. That is how data analysts guide companies, basically. Like for instance, last week or 2 weeks ago, yeah, 2 weeks ago, I was working on because at OmniBees we have a fintech arm called OmniPay. So we wanted to check which of the regions in Lagos that bulk of the distributors using the application are concentrated. So after the analysis, I was able to understand that people are solely distributors are solely are the ones using the app the most and are the ones making the most money for all minibees. So now the company wanted to do a campaign to reward people who are using the app heavily, right? Who are using the app heavily. So from my analysis, the company was able to understand the distributors who are making the most money for the company and they were rewarded. And then we find out also that people at distributors at Agege were the ones who are not doing well. So what was the decision? The recommendation I gave was to go on a marketing campaign and customer education. right? Because many of the customer may not understand how to use the app. So they may be struggling in using our app. So first of all, let's dispatch our marketing guys, let them go there, check each of those customers and make sure that they understand how to use the app. If you go to customer shop and he's busy doing his business, you can wait around. The company is going to pay you for your feeding as a marketing guy. They are going to pay you for your transport. Use Bolt, use Uber, go there. Just stay with these guys. Make sure they understand the app, right? So after the recommendation, the implementation started last week, and the implementation was as a result of the analysis I was able to complete. So when I say that data analysts are the people that guide companies, is a fact, right? So this is where inside communication comes in. Can you explain the result? Can you communicate it and tell the reasons behind your reasoning and your analysis? Okay, so I'm going to the next. The career asset versus career competence, right? So let's compare, because we are trying to understand the problem first before we now head into the solution, right? So assets matter. It matters. Your CV is very important because nobody is going to listen to you if you don't have a CV. Your LinkedIn profile. I don't know whether I don't know how many of you are on LinkedIn, but it's important that you're on LinkedIn. If I want to hire you and you're not on LinkedIn, I will not hire you. because I will go on LinkedIn to check you up. If you go on LinkedIn, you will see me. I will still send you my LinkedIn profile. You will see me. If you go on Facebook, you will see me, right? So portfolio sites, yeah, your portfolio website is important. Very, very important. I'm going to show you a sample of a portfolio website so that you understand what I'm talking about. Then certificate. Do you have a certificate? Yes, we need to see your certificate, right? And then a cover letter. If the job application demand that you write a cover letter, we would like to see it, right? So now, this is what career competence means. This is what it means. Tool mastery. You understand the tool. For instance, Excel, SQL, or Power BI. You understand it. You know how it works. You know about data modeling, connections, dashboard, reporting, and you know how to clean data with Power BI. It's very important. The next one is problem solving. Problem solving is a skill you build, right? It's a skill you build while doing data analysis. Nobody was born with it, right? As you learn the problem solving capabilities, you develop it, because the program is going to help you to um, develop your skill, to um, give you some task that will require you to think and think critically hard, right? Then project ownership. Project ownership is very important. You do the project, you understand it, you can explain it, you can present it, and you can show your reasoning behind every step in the analysis, right? Then business reasoning as well. Business reasoning is very important. And you will not get business reasoning from the moon or from the sun. No, you get business reasoning from program that you are learning from. Any program you are learning with that is not business based or business inclined in problem solving, it's not going to help you. That is the fact. Business reasoning is, if you say that this is this, how can it help the business to move forward? Okay, if you say that, for instance, if you say that the delivery, if, for instance, if you're working for, what is this guy's, the name of this guy's, Chowdeck. Many of you must have heard about Chowdeck. And you know they do delivery, home delivery, right? So assuming you are a data analyst in Chowdeck, and they ask you, okay, we noticed that our riders, those people that you used to come to your house and deliver the food to you, that they don't usually arrive on time, that they want to find out why from the data. Now you do your analysis. Can you explain how the business can move forward from there? Okay, you've seen, okay, for instance, it could be that there's always traffic along a particular axis. Now you find it in the data. Can you make a recommendation using your business reasoning on how to solve that problem. Okay, there's this route that our bike or our riders usually take. Now, let's ask them to take an alternative route to cut off that traffic bottleneck. That's the business reasoning, right? And then communication. Um, Data analysts are great communicators. What I mean by great communicators is it's not really people that talk too much, right? I don't mean when I say great communicator, it doesn't mean that you're going to be talking too much. I think somebody is asking me, can they get this slide? Yes, I will share with you. Okay, I will share this slide after. All right. So, um, as a data analyst, you're a powerful communicator. But it does not mean that you talk too much. But when you talk, you make sense. You are communicating what is going to move the business forward. And it's a learnable skill that you learn as you master data analytics, right? So it's a skill you learn as you learn data analytics. All right, thank you. So like we said, career assets should make real competence visible. Okay, you are career ready, you have all this. You also have all this, like we said earlier in the other one, right? You have all this CV, LinkedIn, portfolio website, certificate, cover letter, and then career competence, you have it as well. That is when people can listen to you, right, as a data analyst. And it's not a rocket science to get all these things done. Okay. It's not a rocket science. It's not hard. What makes it hard sometimes is because of the way some of these things get framed by maybe people we want to learn from or programs we want to learn from, right? So we're going to demystify this as well. All right, a strong asset needs a strong foundation. Like I've been explaining, if you want to learn data analytics, you need a good foundation. If you don't have a foundation, a good foundation, you may learn data analytics for 4 years, 5 years, and you will not make first kobo from it. I'm serious. Many people who came to me before now, who I mentored to help to get into the industry eventually, they had a very bad foundation in data analytics. And the issue is not with them. The issue is the guide they got, right? So a visible part is not the whole story, right? A visible part is your CV, certificate, portfolio, LinkedIn. If you have all this, it's very beautiful. If you have all this, because nobody is going to hire you if you don't have all this. Even if it is me, if you don't have all this and you're just nobody's going to listen. I won't listen as well, right? So now the hidden foundation behind why recruiters is going to hire you and how you are going to make money, right? Is that you practice and then that you get feedback. As you're practicing, you're getting feedback. Feedback is important. It's a form of mentorship, right? Because many of you have mentors, and these mentors are people that you go to for advice, right? Maybe you did something and you go to your mentor and say, "Sir, I did this. Does this make sense? If it doesn't make sense, he's going to advise you and tell you, okay, do this way, right? That's the feedback. Then business reasoning. Business reasoning is very important as well. Like I already explained. If you are learning, let that learning connect to a practical industry business. Do you get? Not theoretical learning and you go and learn syntax and semantics. At the end of the day, at the end of the day, you'll be you'll be talking about only technical things. Then project ownership, that is the foundation. You must be able to explain your project. Communication, right? You must be able to communicate your analysis. AI judgment. Let me talk about this now. Again, AI is good. I use it. Many of you are using it. But AI must not replace your capabilities. It must not replace your thinking, right? It must not replace your ability to see that this is wrong or this is right. Because AI is going to give you answer for every question you ask. Many of the times, in fact, all of the times, AI is going to sound like it is correct or confident. in what it is saying, right? But now for you, it's now left for you to look at it, that answer that AI gave you, to look at it and say, okay, this is wrong, this is correct. This is where AI judgment comes in. Because AI is just garbage in, garbage out. What you ask them to do now, what you go give you back. Right? So, and you must be able to guide it properly. And if you're able to guide AI properly to achieve a particular goal, which means you are very competent, right? So I've interviewed people, right? I've interviewed people that on the interview, one of them was using AI. So, and I was aware, I know that he was using AI, but to me, I'm not against anybody using AI. You can use AI, but I'm going to ask you a question based on the output you got from the AI. So when the guy got to know that I was aware that he was using AI, so he was afraid. I said, no, don't be afraid, no fear. The only thing I need, because me, I use AI too. The only thing I need is for you to explain to me the output you got from AI, and then show me where the AI made mistake and where you corrected it, and show me how you adapted what AI gave you to fit the context of the um, practice or the task we gave you. And he was able to do that. And that was good. And we're good, right? So AI is very good. I advise, if you don't know how to use AI at the moment, you need to start learning it. Like your life depend on it like this, right? That is what is in the industry now. You must know how to use AI to increase your productivity and then increase your output, right? And then mentorship. Mentorship. You need mentorship. Many of us learn data analytics as lone rangers, but that is not the right way to do it, because you will, if the road is supposed to be 20 kilometers, you're going to cover 100 kilometers. Why? Because there's nobody pointing you at what you should do and what you should avoid. If you learn from other people's mistake, you achieve your goal faster. But if you learn from your own mistake, you will spend years on it, right? That is the essence of mentorship. That is just a summary of mentorship. If a mentor is able to tell you that I made this mistake and avoid this, is you already know you have an advantage over somebody who is just learning on their own, right? So that is the visible asset versus the hidden foundation if you want to master data analytics. All right, so you're going to, please, if you have questions, you can compile it after my presentation, or you can just, after my talk, you can just ask me. Okay, I know some of you have some questions. All right, so this is, your name is on the project. Can you explain it? Like I have been saying, right? A project is not a screenshot, it's a conversation about your thinking. I think this is the right time for me to show what I mean by project, right? So that you have an idea of what a project looks like. Okay, please confirm that you can see my screen. You can see my browser that has Ezra Ifeanyi Emmanuel portfolio. Okay. All right, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so this is a typical personal portfolio website of a data analyst. And that data analyst is here. He's my colleague at Data Academy, Emmanuel Eziroha. So what do I mean when I say projects? So let me scroll down. Let me scroll down. So these are projects, right? These are projects that he has completed. There are more than 20 of them here, right? These are projects. If you have this project, okay, his name is here. So let's use him as an example. His name is here. He did this project. Can he explain it? That is what we mean. I can come to this analysis. Let me go to this. Let me go to the first one. Let's say health data analysis, right? This was a project that he did, that he used to win a prize in Data Science Nigeria 2024. So he did this analysis on health data analysis. So during his question and answer session before he was awarded a second runner-up, right? He must have defended this to be able to win that prize, right? He must have defended this, answered questions, and able to outline each of the steps that he used to do this analysis to win the prize. Do you get? So that is what I mean when I say your name is in the project. Can you defend it? Right? I hope this is relatable. There are many other projects here that he has done. Every single of them, he can defend them. Right? So that is what we mean. Your name is on it. Can you defend it? So I'm going back to the Excel, to the PowerPoint presentation. Okay, please confirm that you can see the PowerPoint again. Please confirm. Okay, thank you. Thank you, guys. All right. All right, so that is basically what we mean. That is, I just showed you this particular slide, what it means. So I don't need to talk about it at length. All right, thank you, Yusuf. So the next thing is the question. Sorry, Fatima. Sorry for the network issues that you're having. Oh, sorry. You can put your phone, sometimes just refresh your network by going on flight mode and then putting it back again. Hopefully it's going to refresh and become stable. All right. Okay, the question behind every serious project. So let's talk about, for instance, if you're doing a project, every project you're doing, maybe it could be a project you're doing while you're learning with a particular program, right? So it should follow, it should have these 8 items inside of it, right? 8 things if you're doing a project. The problem, what business question did you answer? For that project I just showed now, is on health analysis. And there's a specific question on health analysis that he was able to build with Power BI dashboard, presented it, and it made sense for him to win something with it. So the data set, why was the data set suitable? Okay. Now let me give you an instance. If you're working for an FMCG company and they told you that sales declined in their sales department. Okay, that is the problem. You've answered the business problem. I mean, the business problem is before you. Sales declined. Fine. Okay. You went to sales department to ask them for data of that you are going to use to analyze why sales is down or what is happening. Now, somebody might ask you, why did you go to sales department to get that data? A simple answer is, okay, yes, sales department has the correct data set for me to use because sales department are the people who are capturing the sales, right? So it doesn't make sense to go to HR to ask for data concerning sales, right? Is when you go to HR is when you have analysis on human resources to make. You go to HR to ask them for data, right? But for sales department, maybe if marketing is not converting, which department are you going to? Marketing department. So somebody might ask you, why was this data suitable? You say, yes, it's suitable because I have all the data points I need to do this analysis, and I got it from the sales department. So that is simply that. Then cleaning, what did you fix or transform? Many of the times, data you are working with, I don't know whether you've heard this thing that data analysts spend 70% of the time cleaning data. That is the truth, though. It's although it's not fixed percentage, some spend 60, some spend 70, but you spend a larger chunk. Oh, you're surprised. You will spend a larger chunk of your time cleaning data because data out there is very dirty. You have to clean it, you have to transform it properly, you have to put it in a situation that is suitable for analysis. Do you get? So that is it. Then the next one is method. The next one is method. Why did you calculate or model this, right? If they say that sales is down, let me still use this analogy. If they're saying that sales is down, and then in your report, you are trying to get the gross profit, right? And then the total of gross profits per month. And then somebody asks you, why are you trying to get gross profit? Why did you calculate this gross profit? The answer is simple. Because if the department is complaining that sales is down, it could be that the profit is down, right? Because if sale is going well, the profit will be high, right? But if it is going low, the profit will be low, right? So that is a method on how you can explain it. You get? So every problem you want to solve in your data sets, there is a column or a field that answers that question. And you must be able to identify that column. It's part of data sets. Why was this data suitable? It's part of it. And you're able to identify that column that answer that question. Right? So that is it for method. Then visual. Why did you choose this chart? For instance, if they say that sales is down, I'm still using this analogy. Follow me. They say that sales is down over time, maybe since this year, we're in August. And then they gave you data from January to August. And then in your report, somebody saw line charts that went from January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, right? And then somebody saw that and asked you, why did you use this kind of visual line charts to do this analysis? The answer is simple, because they say sales is down. Now you want to understand in the data how the sales was declining per month. In January, what was the sales? In February, what was the sales? In March, what was the sales, right? So being able to explain why you use the chart is a part of every project you are doing, right? So, and it boils down to your understanding of presentation and communication. Do you get? All right, so I'm continuing here. Then insights, what did the data reveal? Still on the same analogy, if you find out in the data that in January there was spike. Spike means that sudden increase in sales in January, and then in February it went down, right? You should be able to notice it from that chart. Okay, we were able to see that in January there was more sales. In February, the sales went down. Now you dig in deep again and understand whether there's a seasonal reason. Maybe in February, people, for instance, if if you if you go to the market and meet people who deals on um accessories for secondary school people or primary school, right? In January, they sell more. Then in February, it goes down. So the reason could be, okay, it went up in February because school were on resumption and people were demanding for a product. So sales spiked and went up. Now in February, school has resumed and everything has normalized. Every students must have gotten what they need to for their academics. So that is the reason why sales is down. So there's no cause for alarm. Now, again, you could notice in the data that in March, April, sale went up again because school went on vacation and resumed again in April. Do you get? So that is how you're able to communicate insights properly and understand what your analysis revealed. Do you get? Then action. What should the business do? Like I said earlier, if you're a data analyst, you are practically guiding companies. I'm saying it from my own personal experience because over 10 years I have been in this field and I know how many, data analysts sometimes they are not at the front. You will be at the back doing the analysis, giving them the insight, showing them what is happening in the business. Nobody know that all those insights is coming from you, but you know. If you see the company making certain moves, you understand because it's from your analysis that they understand that this is what should be done, right? So what should the business do? For instance, I give an analogy. If you are selling items for primary school and secondary school people, in January, what should the business do? They should stock up to sell more, right? It's a sample recommendation, action to be taken. Okay, you've seen that in January, there's usually more demand. stock up. Make sure that you stock up well. All your shelves should be filled. All your warehouse should be filled up so that you sell more. And then in February, you can distribute the stock across many states or many branches, right? And not concentrate in one place. Then in March, April, you stock up again, right? These are recommendations and actions, right? So then the limits. What should we be careful about? If you're doing a project, it's not a perfect project. I'm telling you, right? So that you don't see your analysis as the ultimate. There are limitations. The limitation could be that sometimes you may not be able to explain why data is missing. For instance, let me give an example. If you go to sales department and ask them for data, and they give you data, and there are some data points missing, right? And you've asked question, you've gone to them, you've asked everybody, this data point that I'm missing, can we provide it? And nobody was able to give you an answer why those data points are missing. It could be prices for some products. So as you're doing an analysis, you are not able to tell what this product is sold for, who bought this, right? You might see that somebody bought it, but you may not know the person's name and you may not know the person's location. So that is limitation. So in your analysis, you must note it as well, that why you are doing this analysis. Please, we should be careful because there were some data points that are missing, right? There were data points that we could not account for, right? So these are limitations. Majority of the times it boils down to data issues or data is missing, right? So these are the 8 keys that you should be aware of if you're doing a project. I know some of you must have done some projects. After now, you can go back to that project. Use this now to judge the project you completed and know whether each of these components, 8 of them, exist inside that your project. So it's very, very important. And if by tomorrow you get an interview, any senior data analyst who is interviewing you or any technical person who is interviewing you is going to come to this. What problem did you solve? Why is this data set suitable? Cleaning, what did you fix or transform? Why did you calculate this or model this? Right? All these questions are going to come. And if you are grounded in that project that you did this stepwise and understood what you did, right? This is going to be like a conversation. I've I've interviewed people that it turned into conversation. Why? Because they are so good, they understand what they did. Like for instance, if somebody want to hire you, how we do it is, if we want to hire you in my current distance, we'll give you a task to do, right? When you come, you complete it, you come to the interview. This is our problem framework, right? Question framework that we use to question people and know exactly who understood what they did, right? So that is it for this. I'm going to the next. Weak versus strong project evidence, right? So weak is that the dashboard was copied, no business question. Screenshot only, no process documented, cannot defend choices. This is a very weak project. A strong project is you define the business problem you want to solve. You document the process. Okay, there's a problem. You can't actually explain or solve a problem that you don't understand, right? First of all, understand the problem, and then you start solving it, right? And as you're solving the problem, you're documenting it step by step, right? And then you're also documenting relevant insights. As you are doing the analysis about the sales, are you noting that sales spiked in January and went down in February and went up again in March, April, right? Are you documenting it? Are you noting the reasons, right? This is, like I said earlier, if you're a data analyst, you are basically attention machine. I call it attention machine because you pay attention to the tiniest of details in your analysis. In fact, you are focused and you are able to pick every single aspect of your analysis and you are documenting them, right? So, and then at the end of that project, you give clear recommendation. Because if anybody is hiring you, see, if somebody hire you tomorrow, when somebody hire you tomorrow as a data analyst, the person is hiring you to come and is hiring you to come and solve problem. The person is not hiring you to come and write Python code or to come and show how you can do Power BI. It's to solve problem. Many of the times, in fact, many of the times when you get into the industry, the company you work for may not even care about the tool that you use to solve a problem. What they need is for you to solve the problem. Whether you use Excel or Power BI or Python or SQL, they don't care. They just want you. Oh yeah, have you solved it? Somebody is not muted. Please, can you mute? Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Again, can you answer follow-up questions? Can you answer follow-up questions? Because after every single analysis you do, right, you will get questions. And the question you're not getting it from somebody who is at your level. You're getting it from somebody who is an executive in the company. So the question they're asking you are hardcore questions that hit hard on the problems that the company is facing, right? So you must be ready. So after top executive in the company, right, the next people that understand the company completely are the data analysts in that company, right? That's why I say that as a data analyst, you are actually leading the company, right? So because all those things that the CEO know, the CTO knows, right? You know it too because you are seeing it in the data. You are the one analyzing the data coming in on daily basis, right? So, and you must be grounded in your analysis to answer their question. And for you to be able to answer their question, which means you paid attention to the data you analyzed. You paid attention, you understood what you did for you to answer follow-up questions. So this is what makes you a complete analyst and a good analyst. Okay, so I'm going to the next. Use this quick project evidence scorecard. You can use it. I'm going to share this slide with you as well. And don't worry, I'll drop it in the WhatsApp group and also send it on your email. Yeah, so you can use this when you're doing a project. A business problem defined. Do you define it? Data source understood. Do you know where the data is coming from? Cleaning choices explained. Do you understand what you did in the data transformation and cleaning? Key insight identified. Do you identify the insight from your analysis? Recommendation stated clearly. Did you give any line of action for the business to solve the problem? The limitations acknowledged. Have you acknowledged the limitation in your analysis? So this is a scorecard that you can use to rate your project. Okay. All right. Thank you, Yusuf. All right. We're going on. I saw a message in the chat. AI dependence versus intelligent AI use. So I'm going to show you this, how to use AI properly. Sometimes we think that AI know it or because it's giving us output. No, it doesn't know it. It doesn't know it. So let's see how we can make AI to understand what we are trying to achieve. All right, look at AI dependence. Copies answers, right? Avoid learning, cannot validate outputs, becomes helpless without prompt. This is AI dependence. Now let's look at intelligent AI use, that you're using AI the correct way. Use AI to clarify concepts. Yes, some of you are going to be using AI to make your learning journey very fast and effective. And very, very fast and effective, right? You sometimes the concept may not be clear. Thank you, Osman. Sometimes the concept may not be clear, but you use AI to make it clear, right? That is a good use of AI, right? So, and then you check errors. You use AI to check errors. Don't go and get code from AI that you see that now give you error, right? So you will write the code first. If you have an error, maybe a syntax error, you can now give it to AI to help you to understand where the error is coming from, right? But by then, you must have infused the context of your analysis inside that code that you've written, right? Then the next one is generate practice. Generate practice. AI can help you to generate sample practice questions that you can use to make your skill in data analysis stick, right? Then support documentation. AI is going to assist you to document your analysis as well. That is a good use of AI. You can use it to document analysis. Okay, so AI should support my intelligence, not replace my responsibility. Yes, it should support what you already know, right? And not replace your responsibility, what you're supposed to do. AI cannot do it. Okay. All right. So let's see an example of a good use of AI and a bad use of AI. So a prompt that builds you versus a prompt that replaces you. A prompt that builds you is a prompt that is going to help you to grow, right? But a prompt that replaces you is a prompt that is delegating the whole work to AI. Let's see an example. So dependent prompt is do this SQL assignment for me. If you have an SQL assignment and somebody give you an assignment to do, and you copy the whole thing, go to ChatGPT and give it to ChatGPT to do for you. That is AI replacing you, right? And it's not going to give you a favorable output. That is the fact. Now, this is a learning prompt. Okay, you have an assessment to do, and you want to do the assessment and understand it. Sorry, and understand it. You can go to AI, right, and write this kind of prompt. Help me understand why this query returns duplicate. Okay, if for instance you are doing analysis and you got some duplicate somewhere, and you have the code with you, or maybe it could be on Excel, it could be on Power BI, it could be anything, right? And you have some duplicates. You know, AI can see pictures, right? You can just screenshot what you did on Excel, even your Excel formula, all those summation and text cleaning are all right, right? I know many of you know Excel very well. So you can just screenshot it, give it to AI, ask it to scan it and tell you what is it that is wrong with this and why is it returning duplicate. And now again, you follow up the question with ask me diagnostic question before correcting it. The diagnostic question could be, okay, if you are doing an sales analysis, right? And you find out that some values are coming as duplicate, and you're doing that analysis in, let's say, in Power BI, right? In Power BI. So the question could be, help me understand why this query returns duplicate. Now, ChatGPT could ask you, right? I'm just teaching you how it works. ChatGPT could ask you, okay, have you done the data modeling of your tables? Data modeling of your table in Power BI means that you are connecting tables together, right? You are linking it, maybe order table and product table, right? And they are connected by product ID, right? So ChatGPT might ask you, how do you connect your tables together? Now it will now force you to go back to your Power BI and check how you did it. Once you see it, you can screenshot it, give it to AI, and it will now scan it, understand how you did it, right? And now tell you, it could be from the way you did the data connection, the data model, and give you an answer. That way, you understand your work deeper. During your presentation of that analysis, there's no question that you will not be able to answer. If somebody asks you follow-up question, okay, how did you model your data? How did you clean it? How did you use Power Query to do this analysis? How did you come about this report? Because you use AI to build your understanding of that analysis, right? You're able to defend it properly with expertise and precision, right? So this is how AI can help you to do your work and help you to scale up quickly and faster. Okay, so the second prompt develops judgment, not just output. Do you get? Like AI has asked you, how did you build your connections, and you're able to provide it. It means that you've been able to understand it, right? And you're also scrutinizing what AI is giving you at the end of the day. Okay, so let's go to the next. All right, so what employers actually notice? Let me talk about this because I have also interviewed people and rated people and hired people, recommended people for hiring for the company. So me personally, what I look out for if I want to hire people is problem solving, right? Do you understand what problem solving is? Do you understand how you can arrive at a particular result, right? Can you turn a question into analysis? So if they say, why is sales down? You can sit down, break it down, and analyze it from that question they ask you to a serious analysis that answers the question. That is one thing I check, the number one thing I check. Then explain thinking. If you can defend your approach to me during the interview, if you can, and the defense is not hard, right? Because if you're able to do the job well and do the analysis by yourself, you'll be able to answer your approach, right? So if you're able to explain to me your approach, for instance, if I give you regression analysis to do, I know it's regression analysis, and you use regression analysis, I might come and ask you, why do you use regression analysis for this problem solving? Your ability to answer me will give me proof and confidence that I can trust your output, right? Then the next thing is work independently. Can you move without being spoon-fed, right? So that's another thing we look out for because we don't want to be pushing people, right? We don't want to be spoon-feeding people that we hire and people we're paying. We just give you an analysis to do, and you're able to on your own independently to actually do the work without being reminded, without being spoon-fed, without being right. That is another thing I appreciate so much. And many other hiring managers that I've encountered, I know, and out there in the industry, those are things they want. Then communicate insight. Communicating insight does not mean talking too much, like I said earlier. Someone like me, I don't talk too much. So communicating insight is from your analysis, can you tell us um why you made a particular decision, right? Can you make a data useful to a decision maker? Every data point is a potential decision house, right? Decision store. All those tiny, even many of you, I know 100% of us here have a bank account, and many of us here have OPay account, right? So sometimes you may ask, how is OPay able to know and understand that they can give me a loan of this amount? It's simply from your transactions, daily transaction in OPay. They are watching, they are seeing what you are doing in the app. If they see you as credit worthy is they can give you money and then after a while you give them back. So it's just from those tiny details that they're able to know and make a decision and then start sending you all those annoying notification. All right, so understand context. Another one we appreciate so much in the industry is, do you understand, if we give you a task, do you take time to understand it, right? Do you take time to understand the context of the problem? Or did you just jump inside it and start writing code, right? Writing code is good, but that is not the only thing we're looking out for. You're looking out for understanding of the problem that you're solving because you can only solve a problem properly and completely if you understand the problem, right? So, and another one is learn and adapt. Adapt. It's very important. If, for instance, I think I've seen certain people that I've worked with certain people that there was a time the company moved the database from Microsoft server to to AWS. So can you adapt? Can you adapt? Can you quickly learn and follow again, right? So again, if unfamiliar situation comes up, like, okay, you are used to doing reporting on a particular type of data set. If it suddenly changes, what would be your approach? What would be your reaction? So this is very, very important as well. This is another thing that people are looking out for. Okay, so I'm going to the next. So just know this employer trust equation. So skill, yes, you must have the skill, that Python skill, that Excel skill, that Power BI skill, that SQL and all those tools, you must have it, right? Plus evidence. Evidence means that you have used those skills and those tools that you know, right? Show us the work you've done, right? And then explanation plus explanation. Can you defend it? Okay, you have the skill, you have the evidence that you've done some projects with it, and can you explain it to us? Can we understand you, what you did in your project? The next thing is business value. Okay, you've done the analysis. What business value does it possess? What business value can it give to the business you are doing the analysis for, right? For instance, you've done your analysis, you've shown the explanation, and can you tell us how the business would benefit from that analysis? That is just what this means. And then equals to trust. If they can trust you, believe me, to hire you will not be an issue, right? So this is what makes them to trust you. Okay. All right. So let's go to the next. So a competence before presentation framework. Let's just look at this. This is a framework that's from my own experience and experience from other seasoned data analysts that I've worked with. Learn. Yes, we know that you're going to learn because the knowledge and the skill is not going to fall from heaven. You have to learn it. So understand the concept, fine. You understand the concept. The next one is practice. Sometimes you may think you know a particular concept, but when it comes to doing it, you find out that you're actually struggling to use your hand and do it, right? Have you practiced? Have you taken time to do it, right? Those are important as well. Then apply, solve a business problem. As you're learning and practicing, is it connected to a business problem, right? You know, why I'm emphasizing on business problem is because many of our learning systems, right, is not connected to business problem. Do you get? It's not connected to business problem. If it is connected to business problem, you will find out that you will not struggle understanding it. If you are learning, for instance, SQL, and it is connected to what you are learning now on that SQL is now connected to delivery of all these maybe child deck, the delivery guys, how they go, the route they go, right? If that learning is connected to it and you understand that context of that business, right? Mastering that skill will not be hard. Sometimes what makes tech skills hard is because it is too abstract. You can't relate to why you are doing it. Do you get? So it must be connected to solving a business problem, right? Then the next one is explain, defend your decision. Okay, if you finish this project, can you defend it? Can you explain it to us? This shows us that you did the work, you understood the work, and you are ready to apply it beyond that time. And then proof, document it. I will always say in data analysis, if you cannot document any work in data analysis, please don't do the work at all. It's as good as you don't do it, right? It's as good as you don't do it. You must document it as you're doing the analysis. You must document it. It's a discipline that you develop while learning, right? You're not going to develop it just like by chance. No, you won't develop it by chance. It must be infused in the learning process so that after doing your analysis, you sit down and also document it, right? Then the next one is position. Okay, you've finished your learning, you practice, you documented, you apply, you explain, you prove it. Now, can you position yourself properly in your CV, in your portfolio website? You saw the portfolio website I showed earlier. Can you position yourself better in interview? As you are learning, were you guided on how to position your CV well? As you're learning, were you guided on how to develop this kind of portfolio website I showed earlier? This type of portfolio website, were you guided as you are learning to document something like this that gives you that boldness to apply for job, to apply for opportunities, to monetize your skills, right? So I'm going back to my, okay. So, and then in the interviews, like I've been telling you, um, my experience from interviewing people, data analysts, especially entry-level data analysts that the company wanted to bring in, right? Can you defend it in an interview? As you are learning, were you also guided on what to expect in interviews? This is a critical choke point, because if you have every other thing, your CV, your portfolio website, but in the interview you cannot defend it. I've had experience of interviewing few persons that their CV is perfect, portfolio website perfect, but in the interview where they were scared and afraid, right? They don't know what to say, right? And also, again, if you're applying for an opportunity, the people you're applying to work with need you more than you need them. But sometimes we don't know, right? We don't know because you don't know what the recruiter is thinking. You think that you're begging them to hire you. No, they're the ones begging you to hire you. I have been in a situation where I needed to hire people because I needed to leave that role and to go to a higher role. I was so desperate to see somebody that would replace me. Do you get? I was almost begging to get somebody who can do the job, right? So that is the situation most of the time. So many companies that want to hire data analysts, right? They are desperate. Their sales is leaking. Data is leaking. They don't know what the issue is coming from. They don't even understand the issue. So they are looking for somebody like you now to come and help them solve the problem. So if you approach them in the interview, you need to approach them with boldness. You're not begging them, and they have problems, right? They have problems that you, the analyst, is going to solve for them. So you must be bold. So as you're learning, somebody must be able to tell you these things, guide you properly, so that you don't go to interviews and you think that uh then they need, or you need them more than they need you. No, they need you more than you need them, because inside the company there's pressure on the sales managers. There's so much pressure, and they are being forced to get solution. That solution now they are looking for is you. Is you, the data analyst. They are asking you now to come, please help us to understand why this thing is happening. So when you are going to the interview, you are going to interview as a solution provider. So you must be bold. So as you're learning, somebody must be able to be telling you this, guiding you on your CV, on your portfolio website, right? On how to position yourself properly, so that outside there, you know exactly how they are thinking. Because if you know how somebody is thinking, you'll be able, yes, GitHub is an example, right? So GitHub is an example, okay? So if you know how a recruiter is thinking, you know how to approach them and how to be, and you'll be bold, right? So that's the competence framework that you can use to make your own learning journey very smooth. Okay, how one project should move through the framework. So let's connect it to that framework now. For instance, if you are doing analysis on sales, right? Let's say understand sales data, right? Tables and basic metrics, right? You have to understand those. Then practice clean field, calculate totals, and segment performance, right? As you see here, we are trying to connect all this framework with this. We're trying to connect these examples with this framework. All right. So Then the apply is answer. Why did one region outperform? If you are doing analysis on sales and you see that maybe Southeast or um a region that Kaduna falls into, or Kano falls into, or Gombe falls into, Northeast, Southwest, right? All those. Why did a particular region outperform? You must be able to answer it, right? That is the apply. Okay. Then explain, describe the process, insight and limitation. That's your ability to explain what you did, right? Then prove, turn it into documented projects, a project case study. You cannot do a project and throw it away. If you throw it away, data analysis is not like sales and marketing rules. Analysis rules. Not if I tell you that I can market, right, and I can talk well and convince people, I'm good with marketing. But it's not the same thing with data analysis, though. You must prove that you must show hard evidence and that is the documentation we're talking about. So you cannot just talk with your mouth that you know this thing and somebody will come and believe you. No, it doesn't work like that. So that is why we say any work you cannot document, don't do it. If you can't document it, don't do it at all. Just leave it, right? Then the position now, get guided to use it in CV, portfolio, and interview discussion. So as you are learning, you have to be get guided as well to use it in CV, in your portfolio, and your interview, right? So this is how it is connected, that framework to this. All right, so disconnected versus connected career opportunity. So disconnected is just learning random programs, courses, and then you copy projects, you outsource CV and portfolio. There are people that are source. There are people that are even doing CV services. They will ask you to bring 20K for them to, or 5K for them to work on your CV. I've seen people like that. And then many of us outsource it to them. No, you don't need to outsource it. If you're learning in the program, right? The person teaching you in that program should be able to guide you to develop it. That is part of the learning. Why at the end of the program you feel so confused because you are not guided as well, right? So no accountability, no feedback. There should be feedback. If you are learning, somebody should be able to follow you up. Somebody should ask you, how are you doing? How is it going? Are you stuck somewhere? Why haven't you submitted something like this? Right? Okay, you made a mistake here. Do it this way, right? That feedback is important and it's part of that mentorship I'm talking about. Then repeated spending. Repeated spending is you enroll here, you enroll here, you enroll here. At the end of the day, you don't know which one to complete. You don't know which one to follow, right? So, but then connected is it is well structured. It's a structured learning. It is a guided practice. Somebody is looking out for you. Somebody is following you. Somebody is asking you question. Somebody is trying to know if you are stuck. Somebody is trying to understand your struggles, your difficulties. Because in learning, you will see difficulties and struggles. So, and somebody should be able to guide you to help you out of it. The real business project. Real business project is project that is relatable, that is real in the industry. So after that, you're learning. If you get into the industry, are you able to see something similar to what you learn? Right? So it's very important. Then mentorship. You need mentorship. Anybody who is teaching you, anywhere you are learning, they should be able to mentor you. They should be able to guide you, right? Then progress tracking and follow up. Yes, if you are learning online, I'm talking about online now. If you're learning online, somebody should be able to track your progress, to follow you up, ask you a question. Are you having any issues, right? You're not making progress in the past 1 week. Why? We want to understand, right? And then somebody should be able to encourage you, right? Somebody should be able to talk to you because some of these things are not easy, right? So, and then career positioning. Whoever is teaching you, whoever is training you should be able to position you through your CV, through your personal portfolio website, through talking to you about interviews. Because one thing that happened is at the end of it, after learning, you get shocked because the interview was not expected, right? What you are seeing in an interview, you never expected it. And you go there, you perform poorly, and you don't get hired, right? So if anybody is teaching you, the parents should be able to tell you, okay, I'm a typical somebody who hires, right? And this is what we expect in the hiring process for you to have. This is how to present your work. This is the things where people, recruiters or HR are looking out to see in your project. Okay. So that is it for this. All right. The cost of disconnected journey is very costly. You might spend years, right, learning here and there, and at the end of the day, you may not be able to hold any concrete thing out of it. So money, you spend and spend and spend, you don't know which one, which one you spend on, which one you not spend on. So, and then confidence. At the end of the day, so some of us, I've seen people that lost confidence come to me before, and I just told them why you lost the confidence was because you try this and try this and try this and this didn't no work. And you now think, say, maybe this thing is not for you. This data analysis is too hard. It's not for right. So as you go around picking things here and there and they are not working, you tend to say it's not for you, right? It makes you lose your confidence in actually building that career that you're supposed to build. And then time, right? You spend a lot of time going from here and there, right? And then independence, depending on others or AI to complete tasks. At the end of the day, you may not know how to use AI properly. Anybody who is training you, who is teaching you the analysis, should be able to teach you how to use AI to do the analysis as well. Because AI has come to stay. Nothing will ever eliminate AI now. And it's either you learn how to use it or you fall behind. That is the reality at the moment. Okay. All right. So with all this, we've seen what the issue is over the years with our own experiences, with the things we've seen, right? And we've decided to build a solution around this very problem for data analysts, people who are aspiring to become data analysts in the future, right? So with a connected experience, you learn and become competent, right? So we have a guided system for learning, practice and evidence and career position. So at Data Ed Academy, you know, we are the ones that organize this. At Data Ed Academy, our connected experience is just everything we've just discussed now, the solutions and solutions to them. So practical business missions, we give you practical business missions that you can work on, and at the end of the day, you have a business thought process you can trust and have confidence in, right? You have projects and evidence, you have mentorship. Also, in our distance, we mentor you, myself and other industry partners that we work with to develop these programs. We make sure that you become competent at the end of your working with us. The community support, online learning sometimes can be very lonely. That's why people are afraid of learning online, right? So we have a system that is going to support you in your learning journey. As you're learning, myself, other people who develop this program are following you up, are having calls with you, trying to make you understand what you are learning and make sure you don't fall behind. Then your CV, portfolio, and Upwork. Let me talk about your CV and portfolio. I think I've talked about it enough. Um, as you're learning, it's not just our duty to make you learn data analysis. It's also our duty to help you develop this kind of portfolio, right? This kind of portfolio so that at the end of the day, you don't finish and if they ask you what have you done in data analysis, you just be looking, right? No. And then it's one thing to learn and it's another thing to make money with what you're learning. Some of you know about Upwork, right? Some of you know about Upwork. We also help you to sell your skill on Upwork. I don't know, Upwork is a freelancing global network, right? You can use Upwork to get a job in US, in UK, in Canada, in Nigeria as well. There are recruiters in Nigeria that exist in Upwork. You can also work with them there. So, and opportunities full is an opportunity ground. So if you want to also learn how to sell your skill on Upwork, we got you covered in that area as well, because we take you through on one-on-one sessions on how you can position your skill on Upwork and make money as well. So interview readiness, like I've been saying, in interviews, there are things you need to know, right? If I want to hire you, right? I want to hire you because I need you more than you need me, because I was the first to come out and say I want to hire somebody and for people to apply, right? It means I am desperate for you, right? So we must, in our program, we also train you on how interviews, the best practices on interviews, how we think. If we want to hire you, what we're looking out for, like we discussed already, right? So we train you, we guide you on what to expect during interviews, how hiring managers think. I just gave you my own thinking framework. If I want to hire you now, by tomorrow now you apply and you come in the interview. By chance, I might be there, right? You already know what I'm thinking, right? And you know where to hit it, right? So, and then AI workflows. The issue is not learning. The issue now is how can you use AI to make your learning faster, right? How can you use AI? AI automation and workflows is a separate skill on its own. People pay a lot of money for it to learn it, right? So it's also infused in our programs so that as you are coming out with everything you need to succeed, right? And then structured learning, we use it. I know 99% of us here. Is anybody from Cameroon or Ghana? So, so I know 100% of us, almost 100% of us are from Nigeria. So connected learning and learning structure that we use is the one that is applicable in the Nigerian market and the ones that are also global standard, right? So that you don't learn and then you go to Upwork. Maybe when you create an account on Upwork to work for people, you start seeing strange things there, right? So we also help you to develop that global framework of thinking that make you an outstanding data analyst in the global market, right? So that is basically it for then another one is we have a very strong support system, even though our learning is online, right? But we have a very strong support system, right? So you're going to be learning our application, and then we have, okay, Miracle, thank you. Okay, so we have a very strong learning application. As you're learning, you're also in our WhatsApp community, and you have access to us for us to have one-on-one conversation with you as you are learning. A sort of follow-up. I know many of you are professionals who are busy, who may not have time to go for physical classes. So this is the best solution for you. And then real business missions. We give you real business missions that will help you to think, right? Like a data analyst. Data analyst, the way we think is quite different from the way others think. That is what makes us unique. So, and project and then learning problem solving with us. And then assessments. We will give you assessment on project, capstone project. You will do it tire. You will do it tire. And we are not doing that just to give you trouble. No, we are doing that to make sure that we'll define your capabilities to solve problem. So you solve problem and solve problem and solve problem so that at the end of the day, when you leave the program, there's no problem you cannot solve with data, right? So this is how we give our own solution. And then we give weekly mentorship, right, in every of our cohorts. Currently, we have cohort 5. I don't know, many of us are in the community, right? You must have seen us making posts in the announcements, in the announcement group about people who are doing outstanding work in this current cohort 5.0, right? So we have weekly life mentorship session every week on over weekends. Over the weekend, we have live calls with live session like we are here now, right? we have a call with you. We try to understand your struggles. We try to know where you're stuck. We try to know if you're having any challenge. And then we also prepare you in other aspect of data analysis, because just doing the learning is not where it ends. There are other things like we've discussed through that you need to know, right? That we're going to be discussing with you on that one-on-one call that we'll be having with you. And then community and peer networking, right? So you get to know the people you are learning with in the cohort. You connect, you form teams, right? In the current cohort, people are forming teams, solving problems together, sharing ideas, and when you connect with people, you're able to actually grow faster, because you're not the only one learning this. You are learning in a community. And then progress follow-up. If you find out that you're not making progress, we'll follow you. We'll not go leave you. That is the truth. And it happens in on WhatsApp and then offline calls. Because we have for you, if you enroll in our program, we'll have your phone number. If we look for you and we don't see you, we're going to call you. So that is how we run our programs. Okay, and then career positioning. You will get certification. That one is constant, and then the reference letter for your future job, and then your CV. As we said, if anybody is teaching you, the person should be able to teach you how to work on your CV as well, to represent you, because you are doing yourself a disservice if you are learning and you're not being guided on how to position that learning in CV. And then personal portfolio website. How do you develop it? This thing you are seeing here, it did not fall from heaven, right? Somebody built it, right? And you need to know how to build it yourself, know how to present it yourself, and not go and outsource it at the end of the program, right? So it doesn't make sense that you learn, and at the end of the day, you have to go and pay somebody to work on your CV, to work on your portfolio website, or to optimize your LinkedIn profile, right? No, it shouldn't be. And then professional profile, maybe on your LinkedIn. Many of us are on LinkedIn already. Will also guide you on how to optimize it, how to stand out and communicate your skill using your profile. Somebody can come on LinkedIn and hire you on LinkedIn. The person doesn't need to see your CV. The person doesn't need to see your portfolio website. Just on LinkedIn, see your portfolio, see your profile, understand what you can do, see the problem you've solved, and hire you from LinkedIn. Right? It's possible. And then interview prep, you should be prepared on how to um present yourself as you're learning on interviews, and we do that as well for you. Then Upwork support. We understand the essence of making money. Okay, so I'm coming to your question, okay? Uh, we know the essence of making money after learning, because you're not learning for fun, you're learning to make money and become economically vibrant. So we also support you on developing an outstanding Upwork and um profile and account that can attract people to give you work, and you earn in dollar as well. Then job recommendation. Yes, we give job recommendation. We've trained so far 1,000 plus people, and we keep giving job recommendation for people. We're going to give you an example of people who we've trained before now. Thank you. Okay, thank you. I'm going to show example of people who we've trained before now, who we've given recommendation, and not really recommendation, right? People who are testified about our solution, right? So, all right. So this is one of them. His name is Chris Izanolio. He's based in the United States. I'm not sure if I'm sharing my voice as well on this screen, right? So Chris is one of them who he's based in the United States. He learned with us in cohort 2, and today he's an energy analytics specialist at PJM Interconnection. So, and he's one of them who is so happy. We have a lot of video testimonials, people who has learned with us, and they give testimonials about our process, our training processes, and the experiences we help you to build even before getting into the industry, right? So, and if I play this video, I don't think you'll be able to hear this or this. Let me go ahead. So, and we have Augusta as well, who is a data analyst at SIDA. He learned with us and he gave us a video testimonials, and uh, in fact, this Augusta alone has brought more than 100 persons to come and learn with us, right? Because of the experience he had with us. He gave us videos, and he's working at SIDA today. Yeah, I'm coming to that question, okay? Yeah, I'm coming to that question. So, and his Augusta is doing so well today in his role as SIDA at the moment. So, the next, so our next, because we spent a lot of time today. So our next session, which is going to be next Saturday, is Saturday, I think Sunday. Yeah, Sunday evening. Yeah, Sunday evening. So the next one is we're going to, because today we've taken time to understand where it could go wrong in mastering data analytics, right? So the next session, which is the day 2, which is the next weekend, is a time for us to now develop a clear roadmap that we can use to build your skill, right? In data analytics. Everywhere you go, even if you go elsewhere to learn, that roadmap is something you can deploy anywhere and it guides you properly. One, it is going to make your time to learning shorter. It's going to help you to hit it well, right? Like you know what you are targeting. Define a goal, know what to learn, how to learn it, and for how long. So this is what we'll be helping you to do. All right, so in the next call, before day 2, complete readiness reflection. You can think about this before next weekend. I will have a second session with you. So one course or two, you have started, maybe you've tried to learn Excel before, right? Something like that. Okay, I'm coming to your questions, okay? Yeah, keep dropping it on the chat, okay? Um, so just think about this. One course or two you've started before. You can, okay, maybe you tried to learn Excel before, or Power BI, or Python, or any other programs, right? One project I cannot fully explain yet. What is that project that you've done before? But you be like say you don't understand them well. Just think about it ahead of our next class. One skill I need to practice more. What is that one skill now? That okay, you've known it, you've done it. You need to practice more. Maybe you've done Python and okay, yeah. So maybe you've done Python before and you want to practice more, right? Of Python or Excel. So one way I currently misuse or overuse AI. Many of us here are already using AI. Think about it. Do you use AI just to answer, just you do through the whole task for AI to do for you? Or do you start the task before you bring in AI to help you to make it faster? Okay, just think about it. And by next session, we're going to talk about it as well. One support system I know I need. What is that support system that you know that you need? How do you need it? Right? What is that support system that you know that you need it? Right? All right. So that is it for now. You do not need another isolated piece. You need a connected process. Like we said, if you are learning a program, the program should be able to prepare you to go from not knowing what to do to being ready to take up a role in the industry. All right, I'm going to the chat now to look at your questions, and I'm going to take it one after the other. Where is the chat? Thank you so much, guys. It's almost over 2 hours to be here. Okay, let me take your question. Okay, which one do I start with? Uh, Confirmed. Okay, thank you, Yusuf. Okay, keep dropping it. Okay. As an aspiring data analyst, it seemed difficult and strange. I have a lot of questions, but I have learned a lot from this webinar. But how do I identify a missing data? Okay, how do you identify a missing data? If something, for instance, if something is missing, if you open an Excel, right? If you maybe have data on Excel, you open it. Missing data is that row. You know, Excel has row now, right? That row that data is supposed to exist is empty. Do you get? Or that the whole column is empty, or that the whole row is empty. That is missing data for you. Okay. So if you have any other question, you can ask me. You say you have a lot of question, but you've learned a lot. How do I identify? I hope I have answered your question. Missing data is just data that is not available. Do you get? It's just data that is not available that you don't have access to at the moment. It might be available, but you don't have access to it. For instance, if you you could go to sales department and they tell you that the person with the data has traveled or that he's not in the office at that day. So it's missing data because you don't have access to it yet. So next day, the person might come to the office, you get the data and then do your work. Okay. Okay, so somebody asks again. One of the reasons why I considered that was to aid my project writing, but along the way, I was carried away with Python and Power BI. No, you were not carried away. Now I feel like I'm going into business analytics. It's possible to still combine both. Yes, yes. Okay, one thing you should know is, okay, let me give an instance with some of the people in cohort 5 now who are doing, if you go to our community, right, you see people there doing MBA programs, right? And you see people there doing engineering programs, even statistics, even people doing business admin, right? So they are combining data analytics with what they're learning. So the key thing here is data analysis is not just about you knowing how to write code, right? It's about you knowing how to solve problem. If you learn how to do data analysis well, your approach in your academics, in your project writing, right, is going to change. Why? Because you will now start defining problem, breaking it down, solving it step by step. So the key thing is now the discipline it instills in you, right, to be able to do your project without skipping any step. Because data analysis is, you know what analysis is? Analysis is that you break things in stages, and you take them one at a time. So you can combine the both, okay? So it's even going to improve your project. You get? It's going to improve your project real time. I've had people who come into, even people doing PhD, right? Doing PhD that came into our program. And from what they are learning in our program, this guy that I showed here, if I play this video, I think let me share my screen and play that video. He was doing his master's. I'm doing this because of the guy that just said that whether he can combine both. Let me show you an example. Let me show you an example. I'm going back to this screen. Okay. Yeah, this guy, Chris, he's based in the United States. Let me just play his video. I will play it for a second and I'll pause it to make sure that you guys are hearing him, what he's saying.
My name is Christian Zanadri. Right now, I'm based in the United States. So,
can you guys hear the voice?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you. All right, let me play it. So you can pay attention, listen to it.
I work with PGM Interconnection, where my role focuses on energy analytics, data validation, and consumption intelligence. Mostly, a big part of my work is I use data to improve the report accuracy. I also automate some of the tasks we do. One thing is that my journey this last year, I think that was during the course. So that was when I joined Data IT. I was in school then. I was in my master's degree then. So I joined Data IT. Here I learned data analysis with Python, SQL. But one thing that stood out for me was how practical the program was designed. So Data IT is not didn't just focus on theory. every class, every task, every live session was designed around real workplace application. We are solving some problems, working on practical projects. Me, I asked a lot of questions that time, and I learned from people that actually worked in industry, that understood the industry. That experience actually changed a lot for me, to be honest with you. One, it gave me confidence. Two, it helped me to understand how to think critically with data, because that's what I mostly do. So after the program, I was able to apply those skills to get to my current job now. I remember when I was looking for a job, I worked with Prince, the coordinator, so we were able to work on my resume and my portfolio, and I got the job. So right now, this is what I actually use in my job. So for you guys wondering whether you want to join data IT or not, one thing I'm gonna tell you that it's worth it. So give it a try. And I will say is confidently because it has actually helped me even in my work now. So data IT is not just another training program. Okay, it is serious learning platform for people who wants to become confident and job ready, because that's the most important thing. The structure, the mentorship, the practical approach of a program truly makes a difference. And if you are willing to learn, like me, if you are willing to learn consistently and you commit to the process, data IT can give you the kind of foundation that pulls the real opportunities. It actually did for me. And one thing I would say, finally, I strongly believe in the vision behind data IT. Yes, and I know data IT is meant to raise skilled African data professionals who can compete anywhere in the world. So if you're thinking about joining data IT, my advice is very simple. Trust the process. Stay committed and start now. Not tomorrow, start now. And I'm sure your future will thank you later.
Okay, thank you guys. I hope the person that asked this question, I hope this answered your question. Please, can you unmute? So Chris was with us when he was doing his master. So he was studying machine intelligence. That's machine learning, applied machine learning, industrial machine learning.
I'm clear.
So okay, thank you. So he was studying applied machine learning at George Washington University. So that time, that was our cohort 2 about a year ago, more than a year ago. So at the end of the day, he was able to combine it. He actually made first class because because masters is mainly on your thesis, right? So he actually made first class because of the skill he acquired and data analysis skill he acquired to be able to do his project and make it outstanding. So we can combine it. Business analytics is very good because it's real problem solving, right? And when you apply it in your projects, it makes your project very unique. That's the fact. Okay. Okay. All right. So you were not carried away with Python, brother. Power BI. Those are very awesome tools that makes you to think deep. So please leave your question. Okay. If I don't have any idea, how can I start, boss? Okay. If you are ready to learn, right? Our program is open for you. If you're making yourself the promise that, because you will not enroll in our program and you don't finish it, we'll pursue you and you will finish it. Right? So if you are ready to commit to the process, the enrollment for cohort 6 is available now, and you can see our programs here, right? Let me type it. Let me type it here. So you can see our programs here. Okay, I just sent it. Let me send you the one that will take you direct to our program page. See here, editors.com/programs. Right. Right. So this one, the second one, programs, we take you directly to the programs. And then this one, we take you directly to our review page on my details. www.mydataiu.com/reviews. So this the mydataiu.com is our general. It takes you to the homepage. From there, you can navigate to programs. But I've given you the one that is going to take you directly to our programs, right? So if you are ready to commit to, and we currently have a discount for some of you who want to enroll early enough at the moment. Currently have a discount for you because people that enroll early deserve to be compensated against, because it begins early September. So if you're enrolling now, you can enjoy that 20% discount on every program that we have outlined there. So once you open these programs, you will see all those details. And then our review page is on this /review, so that you can go there and see people who have learned with us before. Cohorts 1 to 5, we've trained about 1,000+ people so far. The other questions here, let me go there. Wonderful presentation. Thank you for that. Okay. May I get a record of the presentation? Yes, definitely. You will get it. It's on record. I'm recording this now. So once we finish this, within 20 minutes, the recording will be ready. I will just export it and then give you the link to it. All right. And here I encountered hiccup due to internet fluctuation. Okay, sorry about your internet issues. All right. So my question is, if I don't have any idea, how can I start? Okay, I think I've answered that. If you just know the program you want to learn, right? Just choose a program you want to learn. All our programs is for starters. For starters, you don't need to have any technical background. Many of the people that we train so far are people from non-technical background. You can go to our community. The people that our top performers are people from accounting background. They'll come to our program and they start doing wonders. All right. So, okay. So if you are ready, please get to the platform, pick a program. And many of the times we encourage people to take, because if you're going into the industry, this is another tip. If you want to get into the industry as soon as possible, learn more than 1, 2, okay? Learning more than 1, 2, and our full stack programs teaches you more than 1, 2. Data analytics and business analytics with maybe Python, Power BI, SQL, or Excel, or Excel and Power BI combined together. So because many times in the industry, you're not just required to work with only Excel as a data analyst. Sometimes they take you to Power BI. Sometimes they throw you inside Tableau. Sometimes they throw you inside Python. So you must be ready and grounded in different areas. Okay, and another question I have here. I used to be one of those confused as to how to go about data analysis. So I found out I had a flair of working with data. I tried learning on my own without any community and mentorship. Instead, I got more confused. Sorry about that. It's an experience that many of us have had. Learning alone is quite a daunting task. But one thing I have always known is this: take the first step in doing what you have to do. The better version of the dots would form lines in time. I found that it's qualified. Everything is beginning to make sense. Thank you, sir. All right. Okay, Benita. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Benita. Benita is one of us in cohort 5. She's one of our top performers. Even herself, yes, she was one of our top performers for this past week. So she's a member of cohort 5.0, and she's doing wonders. She has chemical engineering background, and she's doing so good with data analytics. Thank you for that comment. Well done for the lecture. So question, what is the difference between a portfolio and a CV? Okay, portfolio is where you outline the project you've done, right? CV is where you add other credentials, right? Like your education, your skills, where you present it, right? And CVs, let me just give you this tip as well. In the industry, CVs, if you give me a CV that is 2-page or 3-page, it's going to be difficult for me to scan through it. CVs should be in single page, not academic CVs are very long CVs. That one is different. It's not for industry, but industry CVs that should be very concise, right? I will show you an example, right? Just in the next session, coming next weekend, I'm going to show you my own CV, my own personal CV, so that you see what it looks like. So, but your portfolio is this one. This one is this portfolio. This is portfolio for this guy, for this my colleague here, that he has done a lot of projects. This is where you tell stories of things you've done before now. Okay, so that is the difference between them. Somebody asks if GitHub is a portfolio as well. Yes, GitHub is a portfolio. Okay, you can present your work on GitHub. This this was built on GitHub as well. You see that, you see github.io, right? So this was built on GitHub as well. So you'll be taught as well on how to do something similar to this in our program. So I'm going back to the chart to answer. Okay, the next one is giving elaborate specific details in promoting and enhancing the quality of my. Yes, exactly. Prompt engineering. If you are doing prompt engineering, if you want AI to give you what you want, you must be able to give it details, more details for it to AI think, right? It thinks and analyzes all the information you're giving it, and then give you an output that is equivalent to the question you asked, to the quality, right? So you must give specific details. Tell it, if you have to give it a sample, right? Go outside, get a sample, give to it. It will see that sample and then give you something similar to it. Okay. The next one is giving elaborate specific details in. Okay. What is the key step in AI prompting? The key step in AI prompting is, first of all, understand the concept. Understand what you're working on. If you don't understand what you're working on, you will not be able to prompt the AI well. That is the key, right? Because just ask AI a question that you yourself will be able to answer well. Do you get? Because if somebody asks you incomplete question, right, you will not be able to answer it well. That's incomplete question. So give AI a complete question with full detail. If somebody is asking you to go from point A to point B, right, but you have to branch somewhere before you get to point B, the person should be able to point you to where exactly you have to branch. So give AI those steps to be able to give you the answers that you need. Okay. So, and again, when you're prompting AI, don't be in a haste. Many of us, we're always in a haste to finish it. Okay. Please don't be in a haste to finish it. Okay. Take your time. It's something worth giving your time to prompt the AI to give you a quality output. So it requires some quality time. You can give it 20-30 minutes to write one prompt. It's worth it. And you will be surprised how much quality AI is going to give you in return. All right. So I hope that answers your question. Okay. The next question I'm seeing here is, when and how do I know the right charts that can be used to explain my data more? I'm not sure I don't understand the context of your question. Okay, most times after cleaning and doing the necessary things, I get stuck on my dashboard on how to arrange my work. Okay, I get it. Maybe when you're doing your business intelligence and you're building dashboard on Power BI or on your Excel, you're not sure how to arrange it. There are ethics, there are principles on how to present your work. Do you get it? Right? You will learn it in our program. For instance, if you go to Power BI, you will see that most Power BI dashboard that you see on top, the topmost aspect of Power BI dashboard that you see are cards, right? Cards that shows important KPIs like total sales, total customers, and all that. And then under those cards, you see some maybe bar charts, line graphs, and all that, right? And then at the middle, after that middle part, below it, you see some table like report or chart that gives you snapshots or more details, right? So these are steps for, because first of all, you communicate the KPI that is very important to business. At the middle, you show the chart that back up those KPI, and then you give more details at the last page. Okay, so I hope that answers your question. The next one is, next question, is there a physical class for this? No physical class. Okay, it's online, right? But it's an online program that is as effective as physical classes. Okay, so because when you come in our program, you join our WhatsApp community, and we also have weekly calls with you, weekly mentorship sessions with you, where we take you further beyond what you're learning in our application. All right, explain various relating to in data analysis and state under what data, question, and audience it should be applied. Relevant example. This is this will require, okay, I think in our next section, we'll be able to talk about this when you want to use Excel, when you should use Power BI, when you should use Python, when you should use SQL, right? For database management, SQL is best. Database reports, queries, SQL. If you want to do advanced business analytics and automation, Python. If you want to do business intelligence and intuitive charts, Power BI. If you want to do simple data analysis and data view of what you're working on, Excel is good. So, but next weekend we will spend more time on it. Your name is Priesthood. So next weekend we'll talk about it more. Okay. Thank you. You skip my question. What is the wisdom, please? Sorry. I'm trying to find your question. Oh.
Her question is on internship.
Internship. Okay, can
Yes,
you read it
looking
out for
for
me?
where. She said, I am looking for where to do internship.
Okay, you're looking for where to do internship. Okay, sometimes, yeah, internship is okay. You can do internship. And the few times we take interns, right? But there are interns that we train, people that we can trust, that once they're intern with us, they're able to give us an output that we require. Okay. We also take interns, but at a limited rate, not all the time, right? So I hope that answers your question. And before we take interns is people, because we do a lot of analysis and reports about our programs, engagement, and all that. So we get interns from our pool of talents that we trained. Okay, what other question is here? Health analytics. Okay, for me to become expert in data analysis, what are the tools I need to master before becoming what I wanted? For you to become very good in data analytics, it's not just about two, okay? Like I explained earlier, it's not just about two. If you think about two only, is going to first of all, it's going to take you more time to gain ground. Second, you're not going to be thinking about the first stage, which is understanding business context and problem solving. Okay, I've seen somebody who only know how to use Excel, but he's better than somebody who know Excel, Power BI, Python, and SQL in problem solving just with Excel, right? So uh, it's okay to know the tools, right? And we're going to train you on those tools. Definitely, we're going to train you on those tools that you need. But the first major thing that we prioritize is problem solving and critical thinking in terms of breaking problems down, setting it on stages and taking it on stage by stage to solve those problems. Okay, we're using that tool. So two is just an add-on, right, to your capability as a data analyst. It's an add-on. It's not the main key thing. So the main key thing is problem solving and breaking down processes to arrive at a conclusion. And all this, you do it on a tool. It could be Excel, it could be Power BI, it could be Python, it could be SQL, it could be Tableau, it could be any of those tools out there, right? Okay, so I hope that answer your question. For health analytics, where do we find data sets to practice with healthcare data? It's a kind of confidential. Okay. Okay, for health analytics, maybe you are into healthcare. You can just check with Kaggle.com. Let me show you here. Just search health data sets, okay? Just search here you may be able to get some health data sets. Okay, search there. It's home for global data analysts. There's no kind of data you cannot find there. Okay, so welcome. You have mentioned teaching Tableau. You have not mentioned teaching Tableau. Okay. Yes, priesthood. Our Tableau program is not yet ready. But Excel, Power BI, and Python, SQL, all of them are in our application already. So our Tableau program is not yet ready, but Power BI is the same thing as Tableau. So any of them can go because the both tools are for business intelligence and reporting. Okay, so I hope I answered everybody's question. If if you are not satisfied with your question, please you can chat me up on WhatsApp. I'm the one that usually send that question. Those make those posts in the community, right? Just come to my DM. You can ask me more, and I'm going to answer you as quickly as I see your message. All right, you're welcome, Osman. All right, guys, we're going to meet again by next weekend. By next weekend, we're going to take time to define the parts that you can use to go from beginner to experts, regardless of the paths you are taking. Even if you are not learning data analysis, it's going to also help you to model every other discipline that you want to learn. But I know all of us here who has come here today want to master and be good in data analytics. So by next weekend, come prepared, come with your question as well. I love the interactivity we had today, and I love the questions you've asked. So we are looking forward to meeting you again next weekend. Until then, tomorrow I'm going to provide the recording to this very class. I will be sending it in the group, and I will send it down to your email as well, so that you have evidence of the recording for future reference. Okay, so we look forward to meeting you again on I think it was Sunday 8th of August. I think 16th. I think it's on Sunday. We're going to meet again by the same time. So please come with your questions and we'll meet again. Until then, have a good night rest. Okay? Happy weekend. All right, thank you, Abubakar. I see I see your comments. All right.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome. Good night, guys.